We call it Talking Point Tuesday because I like to focus on debunking the talking points that we say. Sometimes even I do it, even though I have Talking Point Tuesday, because there are things you hear that have a nice ring to them, or they sound snappy. They're snappy slogans, as President Barack Obama would say. But in reality, they do not serve us. They undermine us. They stereotype us. They hog tie us intellectually. So we always bust those up on Tuesdays. Hour one, we look local, what's going on around here as we broadcast from Leimert Park, Africa Town, USA. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And hour three, we do a deep dive on a hot topic. And that's exactly what we're doing today. That is the schedule. Those are the things I'm looking forward to welcoming in hour three. Trina Green, she's the founder and executive director of a group called Parenting for Liberation. Talk a little bit about your parenting skills. And man, is that a hotbed of talking points? We don't think about it, but we say so many things as parents that we need to delete from our vocabulary, in my humble opinion, i.e. children should be seen and not heard, and other toxic statements of that nature. So we'll get into that. And of course, you're invited in. I love to hear from you every hour. Guest, no guest, topic, no topic. 800-920-1580 is one way. Another way is to go to YouTube. It's youtube.com, and then you put KBLA 1580. Boom, takes you to our live stream where you can see my Lavender Justice for Waukesha Wilson shirt that I'm rocking this morning. And you can even spot Miles Lowe on those boards in his Crenshaw gear this morning.
You say that's lavender, Dominique?
This is definitely lavender, yes.
Okay.
You know men are colorblind. Why? What does it look like to you?
I mean, I get confused once you get to like the lavenders, the fuchsias, like those types of.
Lavender is one of my favorite colors, so I'll say I'm an expert. This is lavender. It's light purple. Light purple.
Okay.
Anyway, we're being joined in the clutch this morning by a friend and colleague. He's the I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying men are colorblind, but I believe that it's factual that more men are colorblind. Anyway, we're joined in the clutch this morning by the founder of ES Advisors. He is the president and founder of that organization. He's also a KBLA contributor and a dad. Ed Sanders, good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. I'm looking forward to that conversation about parenting a little later on.
Yeah. I'm sure you have a lot to say about it, and you're welcome to give your preview now on a Talking Point Tuesday. I think you know, I don't know. That's one of my least favorites. You know, children should be seen and not heard. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I know that's biblical, but I still don't agree with it. And other snappy slogans.
They exist for a reason, you know.
Meaning what?
Well, you know, time is. I'll put it this way. I think early discipline, however, sets the foundation for how children interact later on. And if you don't have those guardrails in place, then it's just harder to raise children. I'll put it that way.
To be honest with you, I do believe in early discipline, just not corporal punishment. Could be a figurative rod. It doesn't have to be a literal rod. Anyway,
you're probably right.
I mean, I just think we could do a whole show about what in the Bible is meant to be taken literally and what is figurative, even though I do not claim to be a biblical scholar. But when it comes to the rod and the kid, you know, let's make it figurative. For most kids, taking away their phone is more painful than spanking anyway.
If it garners the respect and outcomes, yes. You know, I think it's interesting. I mean, we probably spent the whole hour talking about it, but not that I'm some advocate for corporal punishment of kids, but each kid is different, right? Like each person is different.
Yeah,
and I think it's hard to put like these blanket thoughts on everything.
And you know what? I'm not going to tell you how to raise your kid. nor far be it from me. But I will say that the data show, the studies show, that spanking kids does not make them more obedient. In fact, it makes them more violent over the course of their lifetimes and more likely to go to violence to solve their own problems, which is something that our political environment also teaches us. So there you go.
There it is.
Don't
There
like
it
it? Drop a bomb. Don't like it? You know. So, yeah. So it's a lot, as usual, a lot to talk about. And how was your weekend? Mine was good. I actually went to the beach. Yay! And that's another pet peeve. It's not a talking point, but I think people in LA do not go to the beach enough. Considering we live here, people travel from all over the world to go to our beaches, our parks and natural beauty sites, and we don't even go there.
I was going to say, speak for yourself. I try to get to the beach as much as I can.
Really?
To your point, we live here, and I would never leave LA because of access to the beach. It is what makes LA special. But I didn't go this weekend, though. I hope it was nice out there.
It was beautiful. It was
hot
packed, yeah. But I just wanted to get some steps in, get some sunshine. Well, I'm glad you're a beach bum, Ed, because I feel like we pay the price, right? We pay these high rents and mortgages and gas prices and grocery prices and everything else. Might as well take advantage of, the desert, the mountains, the beach, the beauty.
And it's not expensive. You know what I mean? You can go and you could spend a ton of money at the beach if you wanted to, but the truth of the matter is you could find a spot to park and get out on the beach for relatively, cheap, and it's there, and it is so healing that I try to do it as much as I can.
Good for you. It's good for our health, and I don't mean just physical. The mental health piece is really real. Jerry Anderson says, "Good and great everything, KBLA family. Hard heads make for soft bottoms. Didn't come from nowhere." See, now that right there is another one of those talking points. What does that even mean? It means if your head is hard, I'm going to spank your butt. Is that what it means? Is that what it means, Jerry? Is that what it means? Because my mom didn't give us warnings. My mom was a big believer in corporal punishment. That's that Italian side of the family. Here, there was no warning. There was no slogan. You were just going to get spanked.
Well, I mean, like, spanking has to have purpose, right? Like, if it's just random.
Oh, yeah, she always had a purpose, but, you just didn't get any slogans. You didn't get any talking points. You just got a whooping.
Right, but see, you turned out just fine.
Well, I sometimes choose violence. I shouldn't. But, yeah. Anyway, I always say if we upgraded our parenting skills as often as we upgrade our phones, we'd be in a lot better shape. We still have so many things left over from enslavement, as Dr. Joy DeGruy points out in her book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. But it's funny, though, because I've argued this with Steve Harvey, Stevie Wonder. Like, the list is long. Those are the two major ones that I've argued. But both believe in the old spare the rod, spoil the child, the literal interpretation of that. And I just don't. I think it's time to move beyond, what we learned from the slave masters in our parenting toolbox.
Yeah. As someone, I did employ a little bit of spanking when my children were young, but I feel like I don't have to now, right? Like I feel like it helps set not a tone, but just an understanding early on. And then, the next phase, if spanking is all you have as a parenting, then yeah, you haven't progressed up the skill set of parenting, because the true challenge in parenting is being able to communicate with the children, understanding and being able to explain to them where they are so that they understand what is happening. And that, spanking doesn't do that. Spanking conveys something from the parent. It doesn't help the child in its understanding.
in their decision-making process. How tall are you, Ed? You're like 6'4" or something?
6'5".
6'5", yeah, I know.
Probably shrinking now at this point. Yeah, at this point in the life, I'm on the downside. I'm not growing up anymore.
Yeah, well, you can do some yoga, Pilates to stretch you right back out. 6'5", but I'm just saying, like, if my dad was 6'5", I think I would need one spanking and I'd be done. I'd be good for life.
Yeah, we were laughing with my dad. We were at my dad was at my brother's house. We were barbecuing yesterday, and we were joking. All of us, the siblings, me, my sister and brother. Even now, my dad at 82, I don't say things to him. I don't look at him certain ways. I don't talk back. We were laughing because all the grandkids, we're laughing at how the grandkids talk back to us like it's nothing. And, we wouldn't dare do that.
All right. So, well, that's the 8 o'clock hour. We can look at some local things. I'm sure you have a thing or two to say about Prop 50, a.k.a. redistricting, since you and I have an ongoing conversation about that war, the arms race of redistricting is officially on. So it's on the ballot. We'll look at that and more when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers.
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That's the number to call. So whether you or I or anyone else likes it or not, Ed Sanders, Governor Gavin Newsom, and the California legislature moving forward with plans to redistrict the state of California would add 5 Democratic districts, which were previously Republican districts. They would, move the people around the lines around the people, not the people around the lines. And so that we'd get 5 more Democratic seats, and some of the other seats would be a little bit more blue or a little bit more red, but still predominantly how they have been. What it does is it would completely neutralize what Texas has done. They're adding 5 Republican seats in the House of Representatives. It will go to the polls in November, which is right around the corner. And it's a special election. That will be the only thing on the ballot. Prop 50. Have you decided? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I know you didn't like this, Ed. You said, well, it's going to set off a nationwide redistricting, arms race, and also that when they go low, we shouldn't also go low.
Yeah, I think the latter is what's more important to me, right? Like just who we are and what we're doing, right? Like even in the way you described what Prop 50 is, it is gerrymandering, right? And I don't like it when Republicans do it, and I certainly don't like it, if we're forced to. I understand all of the reasons why, and it in some sense it's noble to try to do it, but we'll see. I'm not. You haven't
decided yet. I mean, it does have a sunset clause, so we know it's not forever. It's just I think it goes to 2030 or something, and then after that, it would go back to the independent redistricting commission that we already voted on. So it's I think they call it the Election Rigging Response Act.
Yeah, which I get. But you know what I mean? Like in the end game, I want Gavin's profile to rise in the country as a potential, presidential candidate to work this Trump administration. I think the last time we were on, Molly had a good point, right? That when you're dealing with the Trump administration, when you're dealing with MAGA world. Fair is not what they're playing. They're just obliterating the rules. And in some sense, you do need to respond to that. I don't like ceding the moral high ground, right? Whatever moral high ground we have as a party. And the other part about this was that these are all just presumptively Democratic seats, right? And the last point was that the Democratic Party had to go out and actually put together messaging that could win those seats. That just drawing the map doesn't make these seats blue. You have to bring people to the polls, and you have to do that with your messaging. And so, there's a lot to unpack there. I suspect Prop 50 will pass, and it'll pass overwhelmingly, but it's definitely not some of the best ballot measure work that I've seen.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that's fair enough. I also think that we're going to, maybe not you, but I think we're going to have to campaign for it because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people are going to misunderstand this. A lot of people are going to be against it. And the No on 50 campaign came out strong. I mean, I got mailers basically the day they announced it. I don't know how they did that.
Same.
From No on 50. I've already got a bunch of them, which means, the Republicans are spending money on this. They tried to stop it in the courts. Courts said not so fast. So it's going to be on the ballot. And it's the only thing on the ballot. So we had to deal with it.
That says a lot. And it's not that I'm running lockstep with Republicans on this. I think, obviously I understand why they're opposed to it, but that they're spending this kind of money on the mail, because I'm looking over at a stack of about 7 mailers that hit my house over the last week. And, that they're putting that kind of energy into this shows you how vulnerable that is to the Democratic base, like that, or just the independents and Democratic base in general, right? Like it can move people when you tell them that Democrats are gerrymandering. opportunity there, and
Yeah, they don't like
why I
when
don't think
they
it's
don't like when
something
we
that you
play
should
the
do.
games they've been playing. They all of a sudden it's an emergency. They've been doing this for literally for years. I mean, I know that it doesn't normally come mid-census. It usually comes once a decade. But still, they've been doing this, and it was just fine when they do it. Now we start doing it, and it's a whole emergency. So, yeah, I mean, I'm liking that. I don't know. How are you feeling about? You said you like to see the governor's profile rise, and I feel like
Yeah,
it's
I think
certainly
I
doing
think
that.
Gavin's doing a spectacular job. I think he's maybe the lone Democrat in this whole country that has stood up to Trump and is articulate on the reasons why this administration is a fraud. And so, his boldness in this is great. I do like that, right? Like he's showing the rest of the country that he will take steps to stop this Trump administration. And for that, this is good. That's a good outcome of it. I hope other people across the country see it and view him as such. If he decides to run for president and wins the nomination, great. That's all the better for Californians. But I in the end game, I think this is a good thing for him.
Yeah, some folks
I don't know that
last
it's a
week.
good thing for Democrats across the country.
Yeah, some folks in the chat last week were saying that they just don't trust Newsom, and I understand that. Partly having to do with the promise to appoint a black senator, and then he did it in a temporary way, sort of, a kind of shady way that was the letter but not the spirit of what he said, and the pivot on reparations. A lot of folks not trusting him right now, but still appreciative of the momentum and the pushback. Let's go to Ron calling us from Richmond. Hi, Ron.
Good morning, my Bay Area home girl out of Frisco. I got a rest for you, Dominique. You know how we do. It's the Bay. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. Yes, you're right. I am from San Francisco. I feel like I am an Angelino, though, because I've been here so long. But
I know. Shout out to L.A., man. L.A. always in my heart. Yeah, L.A. always in my heart, man. I always got love for L.A. And hello to your guest, Ed Sanders. I remember watching y'all on that Fox Soul channel for a minute, so I be tuning in. I be knowing. So much respect to both of y'all. I know this is serious topics y'all discussing. It's a lot going on in the world right now, so I totally respect that. But big shout out to my boy Miles. We ready for football season. Shout out to the defending champion, the Eagles, representing. Y'all say a prayer for my Pittsburgh Steelers. We got a 45-year-old quarterback. I don't know what he gonna do.
Hey!
Then,
Don't be ageist. You see Venus Williams out there, 45, doing. She made it all the way.
Yeah, I love her, but Aaron Rodgers, come on now. This is the same dude. This is the Ed Sanders. This is the same dude that beat my team years ago in the Super Bowl, and now we got him as a quarterback. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
You gotta let the old guard go. Right, and we saw that in football last night. Bill Belichick is going to have a hard time down there in North Carolina. I think you're right about Aaron Rodgers. And, we say this about the politicos in Congress all the time.
Yeah.
They've been around too long, and they need to retire as
Ageism is in. Old guard out in politics and football. Wow. Okay. More on this when we come forward. You're welcome to call 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says Washington, D.C. is now a crime-free zone after a federal law enforcement surge. He praised Black Mayor Muriel Bowser for cooperating, and here's what she had to say about the progress.
This is what we think in just a couple of weeks of experience has worked. Having more federal law enforcement officers on the street.
President Trump urged other Democratic leaders to follow her lead. Ladarius Butler, a black father from Aurora, Colorado, is suing police after they swarmed him with guns and tasered him in front of his kids. Officers tracked him after he left a hospital with his son over medical disagreements. The charges were dropped, but Butler says the trauma remains. And Nicki Minaj is teasing a collab with pop star Sabrina Carpenter. After sharing Carpenter's new song on Instagram, Minaj replied, "Don't worry," to a Vogue executive asking about a team-up. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, they've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Naomi Osaka is playing like a Grand Slam tennis champion again. Osaka, the number 23 seed at the U.S. Open, eliminated Coco Gauff, the number 3 seed. Osaka needed only 64 minutes to beat Gauff 6-3 and 6-2. Gauff had 33 unforced errors. Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion, is in the quarterfinals of a Grand Slam event for the first time in 4.5 years. She faces Karolina Muchova of Czechia on Wednesday. Venus Williams advanced to the quarterfinals of the doubles competition at the U.S. Open. The 45-year-old Venus and Leylah Fernandez beat Ekaterina Alexandrova and Zhang Shuai 6-3 and 6-4. Venus and the 22-year-old Fernandez had never played together before this year's U.S. Open. They will play in the quarterfinals today against Taylor Townsend and Katerina Siniakova. You can catch today's doubles match live on ESPN at 1 p.m. Pacific time. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that hits Black families hardest. 1 in 5 Black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and it's not a normal part of aging. Early signs like repeating questions, missed appointments, even trouble handling bills might seem small, but they matter. The good news? There are treatment options available that may slow AD when diagnosed early. Don't wait. Visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more. This message is brought to you by AZI.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve Black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from Black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, Black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of Black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling Black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic Black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandlost.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right, Ed Sanders is here this morning. Of course, you know I'm Dominique DiPrima. Ron from Richmond called, talking about his sports, and the football season is back. Maybe I will get to watch some football this year. I still love football despite the problems with the white supremacist group that owns the teams and the pervasive misogyny, sexism, and domestic violence that seems to riddle the organization, the NFL itself, which doesn't seem to be at all interested in doing anything about any of it. For some reason, I still like watching football. Ed, what's your team?
I'm an old Raider guy that's rejuvenated that Pete Carroll now that Pete Carroll is back. But now that the Rams are home here in LA, I tend to follow the Rams more.
Okay. And we know Ron loves the 49ers, LOL.
Oh. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Black and yellow all day, baby. Shout out to my Pittsburgh Steelers Nation. We worldwide with it. No disrespect to the Niners, because that was my late daddy and my late brother's team. They were diehard fanatics, so always got love for the Niners. But yeah, I'm black and yellow all day.
Look, this is where you see my Bay Area roots. You wanted to go San Francisco, do the San Francisco shout out. Well, that's where it is. It's 49ers. Because when it comes to basketball, I'm LA all day. Because I never watched basketball when I was in the Bay, not until I came here. But yeah, happy for you guys. Football season is upon us.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm sorry I was late to the party, but thank you for taking my call, Dominique. You know I love you. I appreciate what you do. Shout out to your guests. Big shout out to Miles holding it down for you, man. You're doing a good job, young man. Keep up the good work. And shout out to Tavis, the whole station. I'm going to stop yapping you off this phone. I love y'all, man. God bless y'all. Take care. Be safe out there.
All right, and you as well. So Governor Newsom's team, his social media team, which, as you know, you've consulted many an elected official and been on staff for some. None of this happens without his approval. So his social media team has been really going hard at the president. They gave the press secretary a nickname this weekend. Caroline, leave it. It's so Trump. That's why I'm laughing. It's like, it's all caps, and it's really seems to be effective. They did Stephen Miller as Voldemort from Harry Potter this weekend. It seems to be really effective. The Fox News people are very upset about it, even though they don't mind when Trump does it. And the president himself seems to be irritated by it.
Oh, I love it. I mean, that's, listen, they to your point. I mean, Trump has been the master of this sort of petty third grade level name calling, and where it's rooted in function. Caroline Levitt, just the way she sits up in front of the country and just tells bold-faced lies. There's almost nothing that you can do to her that I wouldn't applaud for. So
she is.
Congrats to them. Keep going.
Yeah, she is. She's a piece of work. I mean, she just doesn't even try to cover up her lies. She just will blatantly lie. She'll just, no, the sky is red. It is red. How can you not see it is red? She doesn't even try. At least all of those press secretaries lie. Apparently, it's part of the job. But this one here doesn't even try to be slick with it.
Yeah, the art, and maybe I just look back at history too fondly, but it just feels like the role of the press secretary has changed through the years, and I don't mean just the Trump administration, right? Like, I really don't remember a strong press secretary that you trusted at the helm. I can go back to like before, maybe in the Clinton years, maybe back that far. But with her, it is, to your point, there's so many misdirection and lies that this administration stands on that I don't see how someone gets up and stands in front of the camera and does it.
Yeah.
I have a reaction physically if I know I'm telling a lie. I just can't do that. But
you're a bad liar. Good to know.
I'm a horrible liar. Yeah, I'm a horrible liar.
I mean, the thing about it is, it does seem to be part of the job now. Democrats, Republicans, they do it. They just lie. But usually they try to spin more than just lie. They try to spin. And this one here will just straight up tell you. And I think you're right. It has changed, but it's I don't know. It's pretty bad. They think we're stupid. Like, we know you're lying, and then you get on TV and get a job as a pundit. How does that work? Asking for a friend.
Yeah. That's the path, you know. You do it well enough, Fox News or MSNBC will hire you and you know, keep you in front to tell more lies.
Yeah. But, I mean, those are actually coming from the lawmaker, because the press secretaries are not empowered to just make stuff up. They have to, they defend the official line of the administration, whatever administration is in power. And whenever they get caught off guard, they usually find a fancy way of saying, I'll get back to you on that because I have no idea what lie I'm supposed to tell right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, your point is that they spin, right? And
yeah.
To be fair to them, that is not an easy job.
No.
You know, you go up in front of the National Press Corps and you field questions that can come from anywhere, right? And you're expected to have an answer and have consulted with the president and, you know, are very clear on something that may have happened 6 minutes ago. And, you know, that's difficult. I acknowledge that. But it is the role is to speak to the American people on behalf of the president. And, you know, anytime you do that and you're lying, it just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah. Well said. Oh, so there was a rumor going around over the weekend that the president died. Started a little bit before the weekend. Everybody was saying he was dead on social media. And then the White House posted a rather tepid, he looked sort of zombie-like video of him leaving the golf course. And then he did one of his all-caps tweets. Never felt better in my life. He tweets, I would yell, but, you know, we're on the radio. And so, you know, apparently he's not dead. Or they found someone else to tweet.
Where did you get that? That didn't hit me at all.
Oh, yeah. It was all over the internet. People were saying that the president, and Newsweek even has an article this morning, Donald Trump responds to viral health rumors.
Oh, man. See? Not that I'm praying for somebody's demise, but
yeah,
I would have been tuning in that I heard that.
Yeah, no, it was all over. It started Friday. They said he hadn't been seen in public for several days. He had no public events scheduled over the weekend. So apparently there were thousands of posts on X with the hashtag Where is Trump and hashtag Trump died.
So like when it happened, like how did you feel? Were you like really like rooting for it?
I knew that was a rumor. I didn't think he was any more dead than he's ever been since 2016.
You remember when he caught COVID? You know?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, oh, let's see.
You know what? I never want to wish ill on people, but what I do, you know, I always pray that people get some opportunity that makes them go away. Like, oh, look, he really is a billionaire and he decided to retire to Hawaii and play golf all day. That would be great. That would be great.
That's a nice way to put it. You know what? I think I'm gonna try to learn from you in that regard.
I always wish people some fantastic good fortune that takes them far away from me and out of the process of anything that could bug me. You know. So that's because I don't want to have that karma of wishing people would kick the bucket. But I know a lot of people that were like, yes, Trump is dead. Trump is dead. 158,000 X posts included the phrase Trump is dead between Friday and Saturday. It's also a good reminder that everything you read on the internet is not true.
Right. That's like easily verifiable.
Yeah, it's like, but I mean, I think more and more, because we've gotten so used to having social media as part of our everyday lives, people will read something and assume it's true just because it's on the internet, and you can get in so much trouble that way. They've killed tons of celebrities. They've killed, they've had entire elections that never happened. So you really have to fact check and double check. And FYI, Trump is not dead. No more dead than he was in 2016. Right, no more dead than he was in 2016. He's dead inside, but technically he's alive. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580 if you want to talk about it. I think it's partly those things on his hands and stuff, like the bruises and stuff that he has. And he's been looking kind of frail. I think it's that. But I don't think his demise is imminent. I don't know. I could be wrong. 800-920-1580. But Hawaii, don't you want an extended vacation, Mr. President? Yeah. It's a perfect time to call us. Ed Sanders and Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
If you're an African-American mom who is pregnant or have a baby under 6 months old, you deserve care that lifts, listens, and lasts. Black Infant Health is for you. It's a free program with individual support, group sessions, and resources to start your mothering journey. BIH makes space for moms and their families to create community. Learn more about the programs in Los Angeles County. Check us out at blackinfanthealth.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilmember Curran Price, inviting you to the 30th anniversary of the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, Saturday, September the 20th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We've got 4 pavilions, 3 stages of live music, plus food, fun, and a marketplace all along historic Central Avenue between MLK Boulevard and Vernon Ave. Our featured acts this year are Gregory Porter, Pancho Sanchez, and Jasmine Horn at the 30th anniversary of the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, Saturday, September 20th, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. along Central Avenue between MLK Boulevard and Vernon Avenue. Come out and bring the whole family because this legendary celebration is free. For more information, go to centralavjazzfest.com. I'm LA Councilmember Curran Price, and I absolutely approve this message.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Be heard. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back to KBLA 1580. You can call in. It's open. Let's talk. 800-920-1580. Ed Sanders is here. Edward M. Sanders on Twitter. And I call it that on purpose because I've been told it annoys Elon Musk. Not that he cares what I say and do. I'm still there, too, at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. Although I notice ever since Elon bought it, my followers have been steadily decreasing. I think they're defunding me, but I also think a lot of my followers are leaving and going to Blue Sky and other venues. Anyway, that's where you can find Ed. And Ed, Molly Bell says you're a tall glass of knowledge.
I love Molly Bell. Molly Bell just gets your morning going.
Yeah, she does. Well, anyway, a lot to talk about. I was looking at, and since you're one of my sports friends, I was looking at how LA Times had an article some time ago that I've been meaning to address about how it's too late for LA to back out of the Olympics. The Olympics, it's going to happen. I mean, they've pretty much happened no matter what else is going on in the world. They've only been canceled a couple times. And so even though some folks said, well, we are not recovered from the fires, we're not going to be ready, or we don't have money, it's happening. I mean, it's only, 2.5, 3 years away from now. And even though more and more people are saying we should bail, that ain't going to happen. And I don't see why we would. I mean, we have the venues. Unlike other cities, we don't have to build stuff. We already have plenty of event venues. We know how to do big parties and events. My worry is the Trump administration bringing in the National Guard and or not allowing athletes to get in the country because of their weird visa policies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to dislike about the Olympics during this presidency and during with our own sort of human rights stance, right? And I don't think Americans like to hear that, but look, I was here in '84 when the Olympics came, and the Olympics to me are one of the more special events that happen in the world. And really for African Americans, like the amount of African American history that takes place during the Olympics, every 4 years, the beauty of the African American athlete is on full display for the world. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait for the second week when track takes over and you just get to see our excellence on the world stage. And, for whatever the politics of some of this stuff, I wouldn't sacrifice it for that opportunity.
I mean, I'm one of those rare progressives that loves the Olympics. Like, I love the Olympics. I love to see our brilliance as melanated Americans, melanated people all over the world. I always joke, doesn't matter where the track team is from, they're going to be black. Swedish track team, black. Norwegian track team, black. But not only that, I like to see the customs and athletic prowess of people from other countries too. Like, that's part of it, is that exchange, a cultural exchange, an understanding of the world itself. And I think that is needed now more than ever, with people getting narrower and narrower and more siloed in their worldviews.
But why do progressives, and maybe I'm, painting a broad paintbrush here, but why do progressives not like the Olympics?
Because people worry about homeless people being moved to make the cities look good. They worry about expenditures on the Olympics when we could be spending on housing and other things. I mean, there are legitimate issues, but there's legitimate issues with everything. And in Los Angeles, I wasn't here in '84, but I worked extensively with the LA '84 Foundation. And I know that the '84 Olympics brought in a bunch of money. We're the only city that's made a substantial profit off of the Olympics. And that money is in an endowment, which is still funding youth sports in this city today. Helped keep football from being canceled in high schools, funds Beyond the Bell and other after-school programs, funds the upgrading of sports facilities for youth at community centers and schools. I know because I did videos for those folks for years. The amazing things that the LA84 Foundation does would not be happening in this city, which would leave us a lot more paltry in terms of recreation opportunities for young people if it hadn't been for the '84 Olympics.
Yeah, and listen, that is one of the things that, I think folks are looking to this Olympics to try to duplicate, right? You mentioned '84 was a special Olympics for Los Angeles, right? There were so many things built. We upgraded, I remember the Cal State Dominguez Hill, the Velodrome, and some of the other infrastructure that was added. But to your point, that legacy left through LA84, and, if folks don't track LA84, Renata Simrel, who has been the head there for a number of years after Anita DeFrance, they do fantastic work.
Two black women, by the way.
Exactly. And, the legacy that they develop is just that. I mean, you see sports, Olympic sports that, particularly women's sports that they invest in. You can see the soccer fields, you can see infrastructure for basketball courts and that sort of stuff being developed by them and programming, which is important.
Yeah.
But I guess the original question was why progressives don't like it, and I tend to see progressives just not like anything to do with sports or athletics.
Yeah, but then
I don't understand that.
But want to claim Jesse Owens, want to claim whoever else is progressive in sport, Colin Kaepernick, Bill Russell, World Cup, Olympics, and the NBA All-Star Game within the next 4 years, I believe, says Paul, and that is correct. It's a lot. It also brings money. It brings opportunity. And I think about the athletes. If I've been training my whole life and my peak is at, the 2028 Olympics, then anyone who pulls the rug out from under that is doing something really terrible, because I may never be able to I may never be at my, physical peak and able to have that opportunity again. And I don't think that's fair to the athletes.
No, not at all. And the experience and I'll share openly, I am named for my uncle, who is an Olympic boxing champion.
Oh, wow.
And that is something that we hold dear in the family. He was the first African-American to win the heavyweight gold medal in Olympic boxing in the 52 Helsinki Games.
Wow, how cool is that?
Olympics mean a lot to us, right? It's, for all the things that I listed earlier, right? It's not just, my own family history with it. It's so many African American families that have seen, heroes. There's no other word for it. They are Olympic heroes. They go, they wear the flag, they win. To your point, they compete in an international competition. I just don't understand people that don't.
Yeah, I mean, I have a cousin, Tommy, who was a track star, and then he was supposed to compete in 1980, and they boycotted it because of and so he never got that moment, and so maybe we have a family thing about it too. That was so unfair. He never was able to recapture that moment, and and then he passed. So, boo! I love the Olympics. I really do. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, thank you for spending the hour with me. I really appreciate you, as always. Phone lines are wide open for next hour as well on a Talking Point Tuesday. See you soon. Talk to you soon, Ed.
Hey, appreciate it. Way to start the shortened work week. Have a good one.
All right, and you as well. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says Washington, D.C. is now a crime-free zone after a federal law enforcement surge. He praised Black Mayor Muriel Bowser for cooperating, and here's what she had to say about the progress.
This is what we think in just a couple of weeks of experience has worked. Having more federal law enforcement officers on the street.
President Trump urged other Democratic leaders to follow her lead. Ladarius Butler, a black father from Aurora, Colorado, is suing police after they swarmed him with guns and tasered him in front of his kids. Officers tracked him after he left a hospital with his son over medical disagreements. The charges were dropped, but Butler says the trauma remains. And Nicki Minaj is teasing a collab with pop star Sabrina Carpenter. After sharing Carpenter's new song on Instagram, Minaj replied, "Don't worry," to a Vogue executive asking about a team-up. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.